live strong, think steady, fit insanity, mindset and muscle. Real talk, real tips, real hustle. Fit Insanity, lock it in, don't scroll. Tap, follow on the show, feed your body and your soul. Fit Insanity, every week, let it run. Easy man, tell a friend, that's the one, that's the one. 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 Yeah.
Discipline won't fix everything. I know. That's a weird thing to say on a fitness podcast. Very own brand of me to open with a thing that completely undermines the genre, right? But stay with me, because this might be the most useful thing I say all episode. Now, you can be consistent, you can be disciplined, you can hit your macros, you can get your steps in, go to bed at the same time every night, drink your water, take your supplements, do all the things the algorithm keeps telling you will fix your life, and still feels like something is off. Still feel like you're running on empty, feeling frustrated, anxious, irritable, or just hollow. And you know the really fun part about all of that? You'll probably blame your discipline for it. I must not be consistent enough. I must be doing it wrong. Let me add another habit. So that's not it at all. And today we're going to talk about why. Welcome back to the Fit Sanity show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tay the Great. I would want this episode to get to you guys, so there are no co-hosts, no other guests. There's just me and you. And today we're going to get a little uncomfortable. Not physically uncomfortable. You can stay seated, right? Don't get up. But emotionally uncomfortable. We're talking about the stuff underneath the habits. The part of health that doesn't like to make it to anyone's morning routine checklist. So let's just go ahead and get into it, okay? So first of all, let's talk about the discipline trap. Okay, so here's the culture we built. Somewhere along the way, we've collectively decided that discipline was the answer to basically everything. You're feeling depressed? Go work out some more. You feeling anxious? Go do a cold plunge. You feel overwhelmed? 5 a.m. club. You got a general sense of dread about the state of the world, which I know we all do right now. Have you ever tried journaling? That's the kind of thing that we're looking at right now. And look, I'm not saying those things don't help. They genuinely do. I mean, we should all try it at some point, right? Just to see. Exercise is the most well-researched mood boosters that we have. Sleep is everything. These habits matter. But we've taken this idea of discipline fixes thing and run it so far that we turned it into a kind of emotional bypass. Like if I just optimize my morning routine hard enough, maybe I won't have to think about the fact that I'm deeply stressed at work. Or if I just focus on my macros, maybe I won't have to deal with the conversation I've been avoiding for the past 3 months or year, or, sometimes we can hang on to things, right? So you can fix your habits and you can still feel broken, because habits are external. They're behavior. They're the stuff that you can see, track, and put on an app. But what's going on inside you, the unprocessed stress, the buried frustration, the anxiety, you've been pretty much white knuckling, or if you don't have white knuckles, brown knuckling through, that stuff doesn't show up on your macro tracker. And it doesn't disappear just because you had a great week of training. I think a lot of us, and I include myself in this, I have used productivity and discipline and busyness as a very sophisticated way of not dealing with our feelings. Like, I know I do that. Because dealing with your feelings is slow, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't have a PR to chase, so it's not really exciting, right? Hitting a deadlift PR though, like, come on, that's satisfying. Or if you're going to hit a bench press PR, right now I'm on that incline going crazy, and I'm satisfied, so I get it, right? But we can't bench press or deadlift our way out of our emotional baggage. I mean, Trust me, all of us have tried at some point. I'm sure you've tried, right? So let's go into a different segment, right? What happens when you don't deal with it, right? Because that's the important part. This is why we all end up with therapists. So what actually happens when you keep pushing the emotional stuff down and just keep adding more discipline on top, your body starts talking, and it's not subtle. We're talking sleep that's suddenly garbage, even though nothing in your routine changed. We're talking inflammation that won't quit, workouts that feel harder than they should, irritability that comes out of nowhere. You're snapping on people that you love over things that don't matter. And some part of you knows it's really not about the dishes or the small things, right? So the stress response in your body, cortisol, adrenaline, all that fun stuff doesn't distinguish between I'm being chased by a bear and I have 47 unread emails, a passive aggressive text from my mom or a coworker or something like that. Your nervous system treats all threats the same, like a threat's a threat. So it doesn't matter where it come from, right? So when you're in that chronic low grade stress state, your body's not interested in building muscle. It's not interested in recovery. It's in survival mode, which is actually great for surviving things and actually terrible for making process or progress in the gym or feeling good in your body. Like, you don't want to be in survival mode. That's where anxiety comes from. So what you don't deal with mentally shows up physically, right? So I want to give you a real example of what this can look like. I went through a stretch where I was training consistently, eating well, doing everything right, and I was exhausted, like bone tired. Didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to do anything, and I couldn't figure it out. I was sleeping enough, my nutrition was solid, but I finally sat down and got honest with myself. I was stressed about work, personal stuff, just a lot of things that I really didn't want to deal with. And I'd been using my workouts as like a pressure valve, but I never addressed the pressure source. So, at some point, right, what's going to happen. So the workouts were helping me cope, but I was also thinking about like medicine and stressing out a little bit more. So more and more was getting into my nervous system without me actually realizing the underlying tension. It's like trying to bail out a boat while the drain is still open. Your habits are the bailing. Dealing with the emotional stuff is finding and closing the drain. All right. So let's get into the next segment. Move along. Why we avoid this, and don't feel bad about it, right? Okay. So if the emotional stuff is so important, why do we avoid it so aggressively? That's all of us, because it's hard, right? That's the honest answer. Sitting with uncomfortable feelings is genuinely difficult. It doesn't feel productive. It doesn't give you a dopamine hit. There's no progress bar. You can't PR your grief track or your unresolved your unresolved anger in MyFitnessPal, or you can't even do it in fitness training. The gym has very clear feedback, right? You show up, you do the work, you feel accomplished. Emotional processing is more like you sit down in a journal and you end up staring at a blank page for 20 minutes and then you go make a snack. Progress is murky, it's non-linear, and that's deeply unsatisfying, right? For the kind of person who's drawn into optimizing their health. So the gym builds your body, but you still have to build your mind. There's also a culture element here, especially if you grew up in an environment where emotions were seen as weaknesses or where pushing through was the highest virtue. A lot of us learn very early that feelings are inconvenient and the best thing to do is to get back to work. And fitness culture, unfortunately, we all use that, can reinforce that, right? No days off, earn your rest. Hey, it's still your set. We've all heard that. And pain is weakness leaving the body. Inspiring on a poster, yeah, but it's kind of problematic as a real life philosophy, right? Because what that culture produces is people who are incredibly good at grinding through discomfort externally and completely inexperienced at sitting down with sitting down with discomfort internally. And so we get very, very good at avoiding ourselves, right? We all do. We do it in every way, even if we're looking healthy, which makes it harder to spot because we work so hard on our bodies, right? Using fitness to avoid feelings is still avoidance. It's just avoidance with a great VO2 max. That is it. So I'll say this without judgment because I've been this person. Sometimes I'm still this person. Putting on my headphones, going for a run, or, well, I ain't running too much nowadays, but I'll definitely go lift. But I definitely used to run, and sometimes I will, and that's the way I avoid my problems because why deal with the thing that's bothering me? It's extremely unappealing to do that. So I'm going to pretend it don't exist and I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go run. I'm going to go lift. I'm going to go try to hit my PR, right? The goal isn't to stop using fitness as an outlet. The goal is to do the other thing also. And that's just one of those things that we learn with time. We can't avoid it, right? So what do we actually do about it, right? So what does it actually look like to take care of both? Here are some concrete things to try. None of them require you to become a different person, start meditating for an hour a day or anything like that. Let's just slow it down a little bit, okay? So first thing, let's pay attention to what your body is telling you. Not just in the gym, outside of it. You're chronically tired even when you're rested. Constantly tense in your shoulders or your jaw. You're getting sick more than usual. These are usually signals. Your body's not it's not going to just, your body can't just tell you. It's just kind of hinting like, hey, it's filing a complaint. I need you to start listening, start paying attention to me, right? Next, let's just slow it down and get out of your head. I get told this a lot too sometimes. I mean, we all get in our head. Journaling, I know it gets a lot of eye rolls, right? And I get it, but hear me out. You don't have to do it in like a beautiful leather notebook with a cup of tea next to you or coffee or something like that. You can open up the notes app on your phone, type for 3 minutes, just get it out your system. The point is to externalize the stuff that's swirling around in your head because the thoughts left alone have their way of growing into something much bigger and much scarier than it actually is. And alternatively, talk to someone, a therapist. Go sit on that lady's couch, please, or that man's couch. Just go sit on somebody's couch. I'm genuinely saying, like, something out loud, it's gonna help. You say it out loud, and it's gonna take the power away from that thing that's scaring you. Okay, so listen, let's slow it down on this too. This one feels counterintuitive. If you're someone who uses busyness as an armor, but carving out even 10 minutes a day where you're not producing or optimizing or consuming content, just existing is where a lot of the emotional processing is actually going to happen. Your brain needs that idle time. The same way your muscles need rest days, it's not just wasted time. Even rest is still recovery. So there is a difference between going to the gym because you need to move your body, burn off some tension. It's healthy. It's great to do that. And going to the gym because you can't sit still with your own thoughts for 30 seconds. Like, one is using a tool, the other one is like hiding behind it. Like, you feel brave, you feel strong, but you're still hiding behind something. So if you ask yourself honestly, am I going to the gym to take care of myself or am I going to avoid something? Sometimes the answer is both, and that is just fine. Just know which one it is. And finally, right? Be willing to get some actual support if you need it. I'm a huge fan of therapy. Not because I think everyone is broken, but because I think everyone deserves to have the space where you can actually deal with your stuff and talk to someone. It's the same logic as hiring a trainer, right? This one's just for your mind. You could figure it out alone, but having a guide makes it easier, faster and less painful. So let's recap. Listen to your body beyond just performance and metrics. Get the internal noise out your head and into the world. Journal, talk, do whatever works for you. Build unstructured time. Boredom is not the enemy. It is your friend. Be bored sometimes and be comfortable with that. And be honest about whether your healthy habits are serving you or shielding you. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. Discipline is genuinely good. Habits matter. Consistency is powerful. I believe all of that. This is still a fitness podcast. I haven't gone completely off the rails. Trust me with that one. But discipline is a tool. And like any tool, it has a limit. A hammer is great until you need a screwdriver. And no amount of hammering is going to fix that, right? You fix your habits or you're working on fixing them. That's real and it matters. But underneath these habits, there's a person, and that person has feelings. That person has stress. That person has unprocessed stuff to deal with and a nervous system that needs to get tending to. That part of you deserves the same attention that you give to the gym and in your training plan. Because the real truth is real health isn't just how you look or how constant or how consistently you hit the gym. It's how you feel. It's how you talk to yourself at 2 a.m. when things go sideways. It's whether you actually like the life you build, not whether it just looked good in a picture or on IG or something like that. So take care of the stuff inside. It's not soft. It's not weak. It's the actual work, right? Just let that sink in for a minute. This was not meant to be a long podcast today. That's it for today. If this one hits home, share it with someone who needs it. Leave a review. If you're loving the show, it means the world and it helps us find more people. Also, F&A distribution for all of your laser steel cutting needs. Just tell them Fit Sanity sent you. I think it's fnadistribution.com. Go visit, tell them we sent you, and they'll hook you up. All right. So until next time, stay fit, stay focused, and stay sane.
Yeah, we crush it today. Now it's time for the flex. Mind heavy, heart steady. We demanding respect. Fit Sanity, the code. We don't break, we don't bend. Every setback is setup. Every loss is a win. Keep the pressure on your goals. Let it sharpen your aim. Hustle hard.